the real roots of yoga, about unioning, finding our union with the soul, finding our union with our inner spirit. So I'd like to share with you a few things just about how we can start to reconnect with our spirit, reconnect with our soul. See, so often in our childhood and in the Western culture, people have been raised in a state of disconnection from their true spirit, their true source. We grow up with the belief that our parents are God or our source of consciousness because we don't know anything different than that. And as we grow up, as we start to realize that we need to develop our independence when we reach adolescence, we start to move away from our parents and we start to develop our individuality. That's when we start to develop our own sense of self. And it's in those moments where we start to realize the need to find our own source of love, and rather than believing that it's our parents are our sole source of love. So when we go deeper into spiritual awareness and self-awareness, it's really finding how to love yourself and find the love that is present within all things, that is present within, even the chair that you're sitting on, finding that common thread of consciousness in everything. And that's what a lot of people talk about when they say oneness. It's oneness is about finding out and realizing the truth that we are all made up of the same substance or the same essence of consciousness or source consciousness, source. So, there's all these different languages that people use, but it cannot be fully understood until it's experienced by you. And the way that you can do this is start to experience your soul essence, your source consciousness, is through meditation. Meditation is a really good practice. Even if you start just with there's a progression that you will kind of go through in the practices, depending on your soul evolution and where you're at. But for most people, you will start with a concentration meditation, and that's where you focus your awareness on one thing, whether it's the breath or focusing your awareness on a mantra or an affirmation or a visualization. And that helps to focus the mind on one thing, because our minds are so busy. We've been conditioned to think all the time. And so our autopilot is to think. And so what we do when we start the practice of meditation is that we're learning how to focus our awareness on one thing. So the best practice is to find a meditation where you're focusing your mind on something. And then once you've practiced that for quite a while and you've learned how to concentrate the mind, create focus with your mind, then you can start to let go of the techniques and start to just meditate on present moment awareness. And this is what we call mindfulness, where you're just noticing what is arising. You're stepping back into an observer perspective, where you're just observing your thoughts, you're observing your emotions, you're observing the wanderings of the mind. And it's in that awareness where you can also enter into a state of stillness. And this is the final state of meditation. This is the goal of meditation, is to find a moment where your mind is completely still, where you feel in that moment of stillness an ever-present peacefulness that exists in everything. Some people call this the great void. And it's really helpful actually to sit out in nature. If you meditate in nature, you will hear these moments of stillness that happen in the flow of nature. It might be the wind will be blowing and then all of a sudden it just goes silent. And then the wind comes in again. And this is what we're finding in meditation, is that pause. And some people call it the pause between breaths. So you can also notice it in your breath when you breathe in, and there's a pause, and then you breathe out, there's a pause. So this is really the goal of meditation, and it's how you connect with your soul essence. Your soul essence rests in that moment of stillness, that pause in between the breaths. That's where your true nature lies. That's where you can fully connect to the oneness that exists within everything. So I invite you to try some of my meditations. I'll put them up on here as well. Other than that, really glad to have you listening, and look forward to sharing more with you. Thanks. Bye.